Okay. This is a poem that I wrote a little over 3 years ago, and it's it's about my seizures. It's called My Recent Life, because at the time, I had actually had a whole cluster of seizures, like I actually did recently. And so, this is why I'm actually reading it now and actually recording it now. But I wanted to actually explain a little bit about it, because there's a few words in this poem that some people may not grasp actually the meaning of. One of the names that you'll hear in the poem is Hazel. Another one that you'll hear is El-ahrairah. And another one is Lord Frith. And these three names, they actually come from a book called Watership Down. Watership Down is actually a book that was written by Richard Adams back in 1972, and it's about this group of bunnies who take off from their warren because one of the rabbits, who is actually Hazel's brother, he actually sees, he has this feeling and sees that that there's this evil that's going to be taking over the warren, and that they need to leave the warren. And so one of the names that you hear is Hazel. And so one of the names that you hear is Hazel, and another name that you hear is my name, Heather. And El-ahrairah is a name that comes about many times in the book, because he was a rabbit who was actually spoke about in many of the rabbits' fables. So they talk about El-ahrairah in their history, in the history of the rabbits. And Lord Frith is kind of like the rabbit's god. They speak about Lord Frith and they talk to Lord Frith. But when they talk to Lord Frith, they're actually looking at the sun. So, when they talk to their god, they kind of see the sun as their god. Okay, I think that kind of gives an idea to the people who have never seen the movie or have read the book, Watership Down. That kind of gives an idea to them as to where these names come from. I hope you enjoy my poem, and also you'll notice that in my poem I'm actually speaking in an English accent, and that's because Richard Adams and all the rabbits in the story, of course, they have an English accent because Richard Adams was from England. So My Recent Life is by me, Heather Perrone, and like I said, it was written a little longer than probably close to 3.5 years ago. So, Hazel, are you nuts, lying in the crazy heather? No bunny understands the way the seizures appear to me. The water below, it calls to me, asking why I fear. I reply I don't, it says I lie, and I say you leer. Who leer? Says the rabbit, and loudly I cry you. Atavan takes the bunny away, but Pierce stays and makes me its slave. The audio begins, the sleep starts, and life fades away. The rabbits, they keep on coming, and no one knows but me. They've been a part of I since long ago, and hard to let go of they be. People think that they're bad, and always come with a price, but that's not so. Sometimes they pay. It's not like they are head lice. The after effect is what can be bad, but sometimes it can be swell. The bunnies not only eat in the garden, they munch on the weeds as well. Those weeds is what can make life a total and utter living hell. Then having those bunnies helps get me back to how I was before I was well. Well in the minds of others is not necessarily so to me. I believe that what I can do is not to drink or to eat. No calories is my goal, losing all of my weight. The doctor asks me to sign a paper. I can't remember the date. Now that gets me in even more trouble. The questions start being asked. I tell them it's the rabbits, they've come back for more, and now begins my task. My job of all the confusion, my prices that I'm to pay. If the rabbits don't get the space that they need, who knows where they will lay? Taking up the space as they go, mating more and more and more. El-ahrairah can tell you about how it went before. The weasel and foxes and others were sure that they hungered the bunnies. The rabbits now had enemies. El-ahrairah thought that he was great, but now the life that he sees the truth of life. The truth of life is death, they say. His family all throughout the fields the bunnies lay. Wrath and blood is all that he sees. The wisdom he thought of is gone, and now his life is all through me, and every time the rabbits have fun. Lord Frith took it upon himself to make El-ahrairah know true, that no matter what you do in life, fate is the controller of you. Tripling the size of the molehill to a mountain, I take it upon myself to solve my own problem. It seems no one cares and no one wants to try, so along with this difficulty my brain it must fry. Different experiments working or not, the hypothesis can make my brain rot. Take one of that and two of this, but cut back on those, 'cause it's a risk. I stay inside all day 'cause I feared the people out there, they all call me weird. When you have this thing, it does something to you. Almost makes you think different, makes you a guru. But you don't want to tell, you don't want them to know, because in their eyes it would all be a show. Acting for attention, trying to get what you want. And that's what my life is. It's all a big haunt. All a big fake. Everything that I do it for them. I try to get through. I try to look real as can be. Try not to be the one that they see. The true, real Heather. The one with the fate. The one that they despise. The one that they hate. I hate having to act and to perform. I wish someone would say that I was the norm.